Hi, and welcome to Streaming from the Ethers. My name is Deonna Nichole, and today's video is entitled Ascension. I'm going to be talking about what it is, how we initiate it, what comes with it, and how you may experience it. So, Ascension. If you firstly have seen my video previously, Your Mind is the Vehicle, you'll know that I talked a lot about how you go through these patterns of learning and processing to assist you in your growing wisdom so that it propels you on your journey like a forward motion. Well, today I'm going to be talking about ascending. So you're going through cycles that are pushing you in an upward motion. So this is about lifting your higher vibrations. Really, I'm going to be talking about what this thing is, this raising of the vibration, this ascension, more so than how to do it, because it happens whether you're consciously achieving it or subconsciously. And definitely, if you're applying the things that I talked about in the previous video, you're going to have levels of ascension. It all ties together. That spiritual experience with the physical, tangible evidence of your growth. So, when I talk about cycles, I'm sure some of you have heard of life, death, and rebirth. Now, yes, we're born, and at some point in time we die, but what I'm talking about when I say life and death, we have these cycles of experience on a certain level or plane that is, we're living through that experience. We're living that chapter of our life. And then it comes to a close. There's a death of the old self. There's a death of relationships. And then once you have gained everything in that plane that you were meant to gain, and you release at least some of the things that you need to let go of, it allows you to rise up to the next level. So that's that act of ascension that occurs from release. So ascension is like leveling up to the greater version of you. So I'm going to emphasize that a lot, yes, in this video and probably throughout all of my videos, how personal your journey is. So when you ascend, when you level up, when you upgrade, it's not about being higher than somebody else. It's not about being better than somebody else. The only person you are growing in height, in higher vibration from, is you. That's it. You're the only person. You're the only one in the race. You're racing yourself. There's no one else there. Okay? I would definitely describe ascension like tuning up like you do a car, getting a tune-up for your car, and simultaneously being crowned like royalty. So these two different analogies seem really random and like they don't relate to each other, but I use them because when I say tuning up, I mean to say that as we ascend to the next level of ourselves, we are realigned to assist us in functioning more efficiently. So our mind, our body, our emotional being, and our spiritual being are all being realigned, attuned at frequencies that allow us to function at our best. Not at someone else's best, but at our best. And so every time we ascend, we move into a place where we are functioning more efficiently as ourselves. We are in the vibration of our better self. And the crowning, it's like, if you know anything about royal families being crowned for the throne. It's an anointment from God, like taking on that divine light and energy within themselves and carrying that in the physical realm, in their physical body. Well, when you ascend, it's like receiving a download of divine light into your being. There is space for it now. You've made the room and you've let go of the weight of things that don't serve you so that you can rise up. Just like a hot air balloon, then they drop sandbags to let go of the weight and are able to continue to rise to higher planes. So I've said it a few times already about this letting go, right? So the letting go is shedding the old layers of yourself. The old thought beliefs, old behaviors, old relationships that aren't serving you. You know it and you're ready to move on. A way of seeing this, because for some people, they may have a hard time with the idea of letting go. Like, they can remember how valuable that part of themselves or that behavior or thought belief was at a time for them. They can remember how valuable the relationships, whether it's with a friend or a family member or it's a working relationship, how it functioned in a way that served you or served them. But just like food, we put it into our bodies and our bodies absorb nutrients, so we get all that good stuff. It serves a purpose for us. But then there are things left over that we can't process and we can't keep. If we do, it becomes toxic to our system. It slows us down, makes us sick. It shows itself in ways we don't really care for. And so we have to get rid of it. It's that waste in the body that we have to go to a special place and release it. It's the same thing. There are parts of yourself, there are parts of your relationships and people that you have to go through a process of releasing. And this doesn't always mean that the relationship itself with that person comes to a close. Maybe it means it's time for a transformation of that relationship because things aren't functioning in a way that serves you or the other person to your best outcome. If it's not serving you in a way that's good for you or the other person, then it's time for some transformations. It's time for a death of old behaviors and a rebirth into new behaviors that are healthier and that support each other. So once you've released those things that it's time to let go of, then you've made room for the new gifts to come in and expansion of gifts that you already possess. So when I say gifts, there's like a multitude of things I'm talking about. The first one and most clear one that you may think of is the things about you, about yourself, that you honor the world with by sharing it, by putting it to use. That's a part of your soul purpose package, right? These things can range anywhere from being a creative artist. You may be a painter, a writer, singer, actor. You may be a doctor. You may be a physicist. You may be a reporter or a human resources director, a mathematician, a teacher. Anything that is a part of you and how you understand the world or understand something that you can give back to the world to help it be better, that is a gift. That's your gift. gift. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can validate that for you. It's yours to validate for yourself. And the more you do it, the more you lend yourself to your soul purpose, the higher you ascend. That's the really sweet part. Because when you're really living in it, it just becomes easier to elevate. You just continue to rise. Other gifts that I mean when I say gifts that are coming in for you are relationships growing with the capacity for deeper love to flow. So when you make it to this next level, so does everything else in your life. Your relationships have a room, whether it's your friendships, whether it's your family, relatives, maybe things weren't great between you and a family member for a short period of time or a long period of time. You may have moved into a place that has stirred growth within yourself and also other people in your family that have allowed a new depth of love to be in that relationship with each other. But you've also grown a new depth of love for yourself and love within that divine channel of the spiritual realm. So you're letting that flow in through you. Another gift is the sharpening of your instruments. So not only are you gaining more gifts, but when I say that you're expanding them, it's like they're getting stronger. You're able to use them more with a better articulation, and you can apply it in new ways or in greater ways, or opportunities open up for you so that you can apply it in new ways or reach more people. However that happens for you, that fine tuning is a gift, and so are the opportunities. Meeting new people, maybe visiting a new place or moving into a new location are also gifts, because you can go somewhere and an experience you have there is gifting you with things that are supporting your growth, supporting your journey, supporting this new level of vibration. And then there's things like, money. Gifts that can be, very worldly, also come into play when you ascend. And then you're also seeing views of affirmations for your soul purpose. So when you're living in it, when you're ascending, you start to see signs and experience things that tell you this is for you. You are doing the right thing. This works. This is a part of your soul purpose. The doors are opening and connections are being made to allow you to continue actively living in your soul purpose. So that's really awesome. You're getting positive reinforcement. So those are the treasures of ascending. And that's really great. Those are the kinds of things that we rush and push, and some people will do anything to get to their goals, to get to that treasure. And sometimes you get there. Sometimes you get those gifts of opportunity in relationships, jobs, whatever it may be, and you don't have the ability, the desire, or the foresight to deal with the responsibilities. So every time we ascend, yes, we receive the gift of treasures, but we also receive a gift of being more responsible. There are things within each plane of elevation. Every time our vibration raises higher, that requires us to take care of, to tend to focus on, to polish, to clean, to fix, to strengthen like a muscle. And if we don't take care of those things, we aren't going to be able to maintain that higher level of vibration. We're going to start to kind of drop and descend back into old patterns of behavior, old patterns of relationships. It becomes that thing, it's a little a little quote from the movie Dreamcatcher that it just hit home. It's short, it's not so sweet, but it's dead on. Same shit, different day. You will go through the same experiences with different faces in different places, but it's the same story playing out because you haven't learned your lessons and you haven't taken your responsibilities. But once you do that and you maintain those responsibilities, it allows you not only to remain in your higher level of vibration, but allows you to work towards raising to the next level of vibration. So in balance and respect, you get your treasure and you have your responsibility. You can't just enjoy the treasure or it starts to disappear. That is in equal relationship to your gifts, your talents. As a singer, if I don't rehearse, if I don't practice and do my vocal warm-ups and stretch my voice, I won't be able to reach parts of my range that are there. I start to lose the ability to reach it, to get to it, because I haven't exercised that tool. I haven't kept it in good shape. The same thing for actors, if they don't work on their craft, if they don't focus on their tools and how to apply them and keep them sharp and ready for use, their work is going to start declining and becoming stale, stagnant, old, irrelevant. What can I say? In order to enjoy the pleasure, you must take responsibility for keeping it alive in your life. But moving on, I want to talk a little bit about how you may experience ascension. So ways to recognize that you are in the state of ascending. I'm going to use a few of my own personal experiences or descriptions, I should say, but I do welcome you all to leave comments below and let us know ways that you feel you have experienced your ascensions, because it may be completely different. I'm just one person and one kind of person. So one way that you may feel your ascension, it may be something like a river of flowing abundance, moving from a trickle into a rush. Like when things feel kind of blocked up for a while, not a lot of movement. Maybe you've been job hunting and nothing's really taking. Maybe that money is a little low, but you're making just enough to get by, and you feel that sensation like the breakthrough is coming, like there's an influx of gifts coming your way to help you through, to help you stay above water, to stay afloat. That may be an experience of your ascension, that you've come to a new plane and you're accepting that happening. It may feel something like that, being on the verge of abundance. It could also feel like a light of divinity shining into the shadows of your spirit, and elevating you. So when you're in those very dark, dank parts of yourself, that doubt and that fear and that desperation and depression and just that aching darkness that many of us experience, especially as adults, the deeper you go into that, the more clear the sensation feels when there's relief, when the light shines in, when it fills you up, when you just feel like you are being plucked out and pulled up into the light. That can be a moment of ascension. It can also feel something like the increase of air, like breathing a full, clean breath after you've been congested for a while. So you know when you get sick and you can barely breathe through your nose, everything is clogged up, your ears are clogged up, your throat's dry because you've been trying to breathe through your mouth, and you're sleeping and it's just, you can barely get any oxygen into your brain and the rest of your body. And then that sweet, sweet relief when you feel the swelling go down and the passages start opening up and the air starts to flow. Or maybe it's your lungs. But just that sensation of that clean, full breath, rejuvenating you, clarifying things for you. Maybe that is a way of how you're feeling your ascension. I don't mean that in the actual physical experience. However, sometimes, just a side note, you are going through sicknesses to clear out things so that you can ascend. So ascensions do manifest on the physical level. Side note. Anyway, my very favorite experience of another way that you may feel ascension is like a tingling electric buzz sparking through the very core center of your being, your energy center. And it gets so bright and so full and fills you up that you're so full of it, you just radiate. It's like being a sun coming in through the core, thickening up, vibrating, shimmering until the energy feels so tangible. It feels like it's pouring out of your body and it's filling up that auric space, and it's almost visible. People can feel it when you walk into a room. That can also be an expression of your ascension. Now, I just want to close with reminding you all that sometimes you're going through an experience of ascending, and to be honest, there are people in your life that you attempt to share it with and they just don't get it. They're not going to, and that's okay. You don't need to prove to anybody what's happening for you. Just allow it to happen. As long as you accept it and you work with those responsibilities and you take on those treasures into your life, you are going to see results in your life that support and prove to you that this is really what's happening. But it's not fair to expect somebody to understand when you say that 5 to the power of 5 equals 3,125, when they're still learning that 5 plus 5 equals 10, or 5 times 5 equals 25, or 5 divided by 5 equals 1. Their level of comprehension and experience is their own, and they're not always going to get where you are. They're not going to understand where you're going. And some people may have a problem with their inability to understand. But it's not your problem to carry, not your burden. That's how you got where you are, by working your journey, working your experience, doing your personal work. So take the time to appreciate it and honor it. So all in all, this experience of ascension is like being delivered out of a place of struggle into a place of fortune. I hope you take this information into 2017, giving yourself a little love and respect for all that you're doing, whether you know it or not. For everybody making those resolutions out there, remember that you're still growing. Now, for those of you who have hung in here till the very end, I definitely want to let you know that the next video that I'll be putting out will be assisting us all in how we can practice listening to see these signs of our ascension through techniques of meditation. There are multiple techniques of meditation, and I'll be getting into the point of it, like the end result and tapping into higher consciousness. But most importantly, before getting into higher consciousness, I'll be breaking down how to ground through meditation. That's so much more valuable, and it's just, if you try going all out there without being grounded, it's really going to affect you in ways you don't want to experience. So please stay tuned. Come back for the next video. It won't take as long this time, I promise. I would love to offer that to you and help you out.